Hello folks, I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time now, but the reason I've not made it is because it's getting hold of the pellets. Now basically, the hunting pellets are designed for hunting because on impact they're supposed to open up, and the pellet of choice I've been using in the past have been the Bisle Pest Control. And the reason I've been using these in the past, they're a good hollow point and they do open up really well because it must be softer lead than most of the H&N pellets like the Crow Magnums and things like that, but these really do open up good, especially in 177. Obviously 2.2 in sub 12 foot pans, they are a bit slower and it's a bit more lead to push against, but they still work very well in 2.2. The new pellet on the block, if you look at air rifles over the years, they've advanced. You look at things like air arms, they've advanced, they've all got regulators now, day state, most advanced electronic systems in the world, and they've got FX that's coming out with the new barrels. Well, pellets have not been left behind, they've been producing new pellets. If you look at the hunting scenario now, JSB, they've been coming out with quite a lot of hunting related pellets, even slugs. But the ones that have been doing well are the JSB Polymags, but the new one they came out with earlier this year was the Hades. Now these are the new pellet. They've been hard to get unless you could get them offline, but luckily for me I checked on my local gunsmith airgun shop, which is Draper's in Nottingham, and they now produce these. I spoke to one of the chaps in there and they've just had to order 150 tins of these, so if you're in the Nottingham area you can actually go to the shop. But yeah, they come in tins of 500 and they cost, I think it was £13.99. What makes these different is the head of the pellet. Now it's in the shape of the radiation symbol, and it's amazing how well these have done. Looking at other YouTubers that's actually tried them out, that's got hold of them, they're very accurate as well, out to distance, probably the same distance as a normal JSB pellet. JSB pellet. Pest Control on the other hand, because they're a hollow point, that does have an effect on the performance, because obviously when it hits the wind that's going to slow it down, but they're still good out to 30 yards on sub 12 foot pound rifles. I've done some tests. I gave a couple of each of these pellets to a friend that's got an FAC rifle. I think it was pushing out about 18 foot pounds, just to see the difference between a sub 12 at 11.5 foot pounds and an FAC one. Obviously FACs go a lot higher than 18, but that's what he tested for me. I got the results back on that, which I will show you, and I've done a test myself on the 11.5 foot pound sub 12 foot pound rifle, and the results are pretty good. In fact, on the actual Bisley Pest Controls, their head did flare out wider than what the skirt was, so that did its job there on sub 12 foot pound. Once you start going into the FAC territory, they really do well. Now on these ones, at the 18 foot pound, the actual head of it flattened right out, and you could actually see the bulge where it was going past the skirt line. So these do really well still. Now the good thing about the JSB Hades is that it must have a soft lead skirt at the bottom, because what I did notice, and you'll see on the stills photo I've got, is that as well as the top part opening up, which it does even at sub 12 foot pounds, the skirt somehow managed to, instead of just stopping where it was, it was with the momentum, it and the softness of the lead, it opened up as well, so the skirt was pushing out into the head and the head was peeling back like an onion. So really good results. The tests I've done on ballistic clay was done from 12 feet away to get the results you can see. Obviously the further out you get, the less impact you get, but yeah, just to give you a good idea, you'll see on the stills now that the little Hades have done really well. And if you can combine that with good accuracy at long ranges, you could shoot these all the time, because the 500 in a tin at $13.99 is possibly cheaper than what a normal JSB or air arms pellet is. I'm sure they're £14.99 for 500, and you've not got that same effect. So as long as you're keeping the accuracy up, instead of sticking with the normal JSBs, you could roll over to the Hades, which is a bit of a unique pellet, really. I think every now and again a pellet comes along and it will do a good job, and this is one of the new advancements from JSB that really does a good job. I know that the JSB Predator Polymags, they've had a really good reputation and good for accuracy as well since they've come out. So the plastic core of it helps push back into the pellet head and open it up, but these, they just peel right back, as you can see in the photos. So what I plan to do, I was hoping to get down today, but the weather's too bad. You're not going to get a good feeling for what the pellets accuracy is like, because the wind is too much and the weather's bad, it's raining and windy. So as soon as I get a good day, I'll get down to the range and I'll start off from just 10 yards, because these kind of hunting pellets, they are designed for short range normally, for ratting, if you're doing ratting or close range pigeon and things like that. But I'll start from 10 yards and I'll go out in 5-yard increments, and we'll see where the group starts to open up on the Bisle Pest Control, and then we'll see where the group starts to open up on the JSB Hades. But yeah, so far doing the ballistic tests through the clay, the performance through both pellets are pretty good. So yeah, advancements in pellets are now catching up with the advancements in the rifles. So the next time you'll see this, we'll be out on the range and we'll see how accurate it can be. Okay then, this one is the JSB Hades at 15.89 grains. This one is the Bisle Pest Control, and it weighs 18.13 grains.